Welcome to my marathon. Who am I? I'm Eloheem. Here's my symbol. Let's get it up and popping real quick. Here is my symbol right here. Okay. This right here represents the color black. Okay. All these shades of black, as you would call it, black. I don't really like to use black. I like to use what we call Aswad. Aswad will take us into where we be at. Okay. There you go. Put that right there. Third eye right there. That's the third eye right there. Coming back at you. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to take that which you have took to be your resources. And these resources, first we're going to ring the bell. You hear that bell? Ring my bell. Anita Ward. Okay. Because some may not hear that frequency. So 2 bells. These represent your angelic beings. If you look closely, the angelic being sitting on what? All this is what we call symbolic. It's certain things that happen. You have a lot of things going on. Okay, I'm an Eloheem. I came from another planet. See, people say they come from another planet. But let me make this official. Let me make it official. Let me make it official so you know that it is official. Now it's more official. It is very, very official. There you go. Let's get it together. There you go. How about that? Okay, so now, what's popping now is that I'm I9 Gabriel the 19th. Gabriel is the same thing as Jabril. Jabril is the same thing as Gabori. Gabori is big, the biggest. Okay, big, biggest, or included to the force of the Akbar, right? And many things happen. You have many reference points. So basically, this right here is my symbol. You'll see it. We represent everything that is. You have things that's evolving from a amoeba into the diversified formation of the body, humans, okay, which in the writings is called Lulu Amalu. So you have people who wanted the esoteric or the spiritual of what was going on out of their body. Then you had those people that was inside a system and they wanted to make change. To make change, they had to overcome. But the things that they had to overcome was the same things that they themselves created. Okay? Just as the people say that we are the gods of the planet Earth. Okay? But by using the word G-O-D and don't really understand the G, the O, the D, you understand it to your 100. And we give you all rights to that. So this is not a debate. This is not do you believe? This is what it is from the Eloheem. We say it. If you don't want to deal with it, you have a choice and not to deal with it. If you want to continue with that which was and was trying to be, to elevate, to raise you up so you can reach this point of dealing with those who have been raised up, those who got on this ship or turned themselves into a ship, right? And left the planet or left this environment, left oppression, and rised up to meet their oversoul, to rise up to meet their true self out of body, or what you say, out of body experience. Today, this out of body experience is called bipolar. Polar is the pole or region, right? And bi means twice. So they have an experience or connection, right? They become the middle of this looking for who we are in our original form. The original form is not in the body because the body belongs to the earth. The planet Earth is a living organism. And we will go into different degrees of that. When I say, well, how will I explain to the people? But it doesn't make a difference because I cannot explain to those whose frequency is not there. Those who holding on. First of all, you hold on something tight. You have what they call fingers. So people have researched it and say we'll see people and these are fins that you swimming in. You know, it doesn't make a difference. It makes a difference, but that's not the issue. What I came to do is to bring back clarity on position and how we all can get along. That's the first thing. And that's not the way it was established by those who were put in a survival mode until this time. So they got their fists like this and they saying black power. But this fist right here also represents the 9. You see, that's the power of the 9. And then when you spell 9 in English, is N-I and E. But when you reverse it, is E-N, I-N, or N. So it's N to N. 2 different types of N's. So we take that there as the segue. Segue means to why you say that. I say that to say this. I say this to say that. And that's like unraveling the mystery. So we have a lot of brothers that speak and have a lot of memory of that which was. And that which shall be is something totally different than that which was. This is where you have a new concept. So for the new concept, you have to have someone that can be trusted. You see, someone that lived this life, not somebody that's put on a garment and read somebody else's teachings and claimed this was the best teachings. So that's what we call piece of the puzzle. Everybody had a piece of the puzzle and they said peace, P-I-E-C-E, which represent them being P-E-A-C-E, which is defined as peaceful. Okay, which they say now, how can you be this peaceful person? So another teachings came out, say the word peace, you have to submit to certain things. And that is the mastery of self. And in the mastery of self, one could not appreciate themselves, did not know themselves, so they gave it to somewhere else where they call it spooks. But knowing, as you learn, that those who was calling spooks were actually talking about you as the original people in your melanated state, in your higher glory, and your color olive tone. So these things are very important. So as I got up there, L is the representative of the source called energy. That's what they call it today. They call it energy, right? And we'll go into how each letter not only represents something to certain people, but those people with the number of 5 and power to represent the continuation of keeping the vision and destroying what they call the division or division. So every word, every letter and every definition of a letter means something. So with that being said, as they say, I want to show you the two ways of this and that. And it's the shahoop. The shahoop is a staff. The staff was basically, they put it like this, or they put it like this, and it actually reached the floor or the ground. But this right here is not reaching the ground because we have turned the staff this way. And back in the days, they say this right here was to measure and to see if they could find gold. Okay, but this particular staff or shahoop also represent the stone or the slingshot. This particular shahoop represents that of the roots and branching out. See, the roots and branching out. And from the branching out, if you look real close, you'll see other branches with branching out, but I cut them off. But I do have here, so you can see what I'm saying. This also represents the shahoop, but it has branches on it. And you see this is represent the roots. The roots is thick. And then from the roots coming up, it starts to branch off. It starts to branch off here. It starts to branch off here. You see? But it's still the shahoop. Even before it got to the shahoop and the splitting, or what they call the victory, or they call greater or less in mathematics, all this is symbolic. All this is to be put in reference. So you have people that basically is sticking to the roots after the roots already split up down here, which can be said to a lot of different movements. But this particular movement that I'm speaking about now is called, they call it Islam. And then those people, you have the Nation of Islam. We're looking at a add-on build. We're not looking at what you got, you holding on, and you got your fist tight, and you can't get nothing else. You cannot move. You got your fist. You got your circumference. You reach, grab, hold. It's different. So you had those who seen the split coming up, but continued to the shahoop, which is the victory of the original people, as they call original people. But the original people, those who were lost, right, can never be that which was never lost. And those who were never lost is the energy that lives within me as an Eloheem. We were never lost. We were always present. When we came here and it was acknowledged through Halley's Comet, when we came here as a asteroid with a light that was equivalent to 10 years, from 1970 to 1977. Everything bear witness to it, from the meteorologists to the singers, the dancers, the actors, the politicians, the greedy politicians. Everything bear witness to it because it had no choice. Because what people fail to realize, this is also right here, this is it represents the U, right? And the U, right? And the W, which is the two B's. So I'm going to explain to y'all many, many things as I put the shahoop back right here. And we're going to put this one back over this way. And in time, you'll see what this is. So what's going on now? This is a marathon because there is no way that I want to disassemble that which is in those who are looking for truth and light, love, and energy. So the best thing I can do is just continue and read from what I feel is the best resource. And it was given it to me. When I say resource, okay, when we say resource, I don't want to just give you words and then that's it. It's just resource, okay? And then you take your own definition. I'm going to give you the definition of the Eloheem. The resource is R-E, right? And we're going to go slow. As we go slow, you see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, O, P, Q, R. So that's 17. Okay, so the R is the 17. Okay, and the only talisman or talisman protection that involved in the writings of from mouth to ear to scriptures, right, is in the what they call Quran. 17 letters, the only one. Other than that, it was 19. Okay, now the things I'm saying to you, you will not at this present time, as you were being taught years ago in the womb of your mothers, who went through obstacles and pain and suffering, that one day, soon, the word soon was the sun. The word sun was the light. The word light was in reference to the knowledge, because they didn't know no better. But the knowledge and the light wasn't the knowledge, the ledge of what was known. It was the continuation of the flow, which is called kotar, or knowing. Now, these particular words is for first the children of the Eloheem that came here between the ages of 1970 and 77, those who have a dual spirit, and then those who were born at that particular time are called indigo children or children of the light, because it was a different set of energy that was placed here in the body, a different formulation of the womb as she breathed in the dust particles and formulated that particular skin, and that energy that went into that child was two types of energy. It was a reserved energy from the leaving of the planet to the coming back of the planet, in which it's symbolically called shams, in the years of 3,600 years total together to approximately 7,000 years, which is one day in creation. New souls or special souls was coming back. Then the returning souls, those who were martyred, those who had died or said to be dead, because energy can never be destroyed. So the teachings in the reference part that I give to you is to explain to those who have the best reference. You have what they call first place, second place, and third place in a race. Everything other than that, it was considered to be not awarded. You have penalty and rewards in any type of system. You have righteous and unrighteous. So what I'm speaking to you now is a nation that I was heartfelt about, and to going back as a reconnaissance and reawakening, resurrection of those who strive to stay alive. Resurrection for those who have done deeds on their own merits and their capacity without the help of the Eloheem. Just as those who were in charge did not help to their fullest capacity the other people, what they didn't do, not knowing that when you stop the love or save the love or give love to those, that was to reflect your growth and ability also. So now, as we in the resurrection of the dead, those who were lost and found, those who are regurgitating and going in a small cipher, those who are getting smaller and smaller because their philosophy, ideology does not keep up with that of the children of the Eloheem, which was called the Anunnaki, NETERU, NETERAAT, Nefer, gods and earths, all of, and also called the children of the Most High. See, so it's many things that people fall under in different degrees and different frequencies. So we're here to clear all of that up, to put people, you got what you got, this what you want, you can have. But we're going to teach you the good and the bad, the righteous and the unrighteous, because the sun shines on the good as well as those who are called bad. When we talk about 12 agreeable, 12 disagreeable, when we talk about right and wrong, when we talk about 180 over here, 180 over there, the 360 is still the cipher of the whole thing. When we talk about the good attributes and the bad attributes of the Most High, or they call Allah or Elo, this was man's determination. This was not from the Eloheem on what happened. It is my job, my responsibility to teach it. Sure, those who came before me in the title of teachers, masters, interpreters, and saviors, you know, all of these will be explained. And whatever you did, whatever's in your bloodline, it will be explained. When they speak about it's 25 generations in you, and you wonder why you do what you do, and then you fail to realize and appreciate that those who was in the survival mode took and raped you, and you say that you cannot recognize that when this was going on all over the globe. It was only until those who they called the big brother stepped in and started doing what they knew what to do, because they were also under the gun. And this is where the teachings of the Eloheem different from all those other religions. The religion is R-E, the 17 letter R, the E. The E represents the source called energy, the energy that resides in each and every one of you. Not if you come from another planet, it's still the energy within you. The outside body is the vehicle. These things we must broaden the teachings and expand the truth of what was given to the multitudes, those who were hit by the light of what we call mental telepathy, those who were giving the thought to create an invention, those who stole the invention at the patent office. All this will be explained. And those who feel that they were over you because you lacked and slacked, you got lazy, you got tired, you didn't push on, when those who gave their life as singers and dancers and actors portrayed a way where you can add on to your creativity, when those who was given the ability to interpret and those who were given the gifts of what they call the spirit to have discernment, when those did the best that they could, and they say, well, they did not get their reward. You have earned your reward because you were supposed to diligently seek out all forms of knowledge from the cradle to the grave unto China. You were not supposed to be entertained, detained, refrained from your study to find yourself approved to the likings of those who gave you life, those who represent you. So you say, I am that which gave life. That was the end result. And then you have to have the process. Then you have to be approved. So you say, well, nobody have to tell me because I am this or I am that. I'm not here for someone to get their feelings hurt. I'm here to explain to you that which happened as I bear witness to that which happened. As I became a lamb, as those who knew that they were wrong continued to do things because it was the way of life. It was tradition. It was the trading process of humans. It was the trading process of the things that they learned from their, what they call fathers, those who took them further into this lifestyle. But it was warned that it would be a time that tradition would end and that a new heaven connected with truth would prevail, and those who helped would be able to be saved. So those who were saying and those who emotionally backed them up and became proficient in their ideology, who came proficient in their doctrine as a doctrine, philosophy, as psychology, teaching, programming, people saying the same thing over and over and over. If you listen to those who are said to be orators, they were not teachers. This was a known fact that was given by a teacher of teachers. So these people would teach that which he knew, but he himself did not refrain from doing things that was unbecoming to the Eloheem. Yes, I did come with a crew, and my crew, the first was the last, those who came before me, and the last is the first. So these things that I say with the infinite flow to manifest the truth and let the true light grow. The children, the Eloheem children, will not accept the things that those who call themselves parents accepted. The game of the lie that they call life will not be accepted. The meteorologists, the scientists of this day are awed and shocked about the truth that made manifest only through what we call mental telepathy. As I sit today and I heal all of you, you are now healed. None of you want to walk away and not be healed. That's on you. I've done my job many, many times over and will continue to do my job. There's a difference between an angry man and a man that's persistent. If you look at the videos that we allowed through technology of the mental telepathy that was given to certain people and other people stole it, that's already a known fact. But the fact of why we allowed this to happen, so you that's in that body as an individual, all as the most important person on the planet, you, each one of you are a universe, one verse, and a multiverse that was taught by the teacher of teachers, who still is the teacher of teachers. Because the things that he say manifest from what he observed. As you see, this is considered to be a diamond or diamond shape. But if you look, you'll see fossils. Each fossil projects a light to a different direction. As you see the flat side, as you see the side that looked like the pyramid, as you see, as it looked like a spaceship, these are all symbolic. But the light coming out of one sector, as they have said that this is sector 24, that's what you want to relate it to? Fine, sector 24. Now, you see that each light is connected, unified, but it gives a certain frequency and direction. And that's what happened to your teachers, not knowing that someone would come and be taught to teach. And teaching is just to give you a reference of what you have. So your teachers were your leechers. Your leaders led you into the slaughter because they did not know. And if you look at the records, the videos, and you look at those who were very emotional about what was said, that was their feelings. They link emotions with spirituality. Heartwarming sermons and yes sir and no sir, and you know, agreeing with everything that came out of a person's mouth. And those who shine boots and kiss butts to get in a position to find themselves in a position that their position was not totally correct. But they continue to find a way. So they go to other ways to find if this is truthful. How can we get purification? Purification was taught by the teacher of all teachers, which I'm not going to name, because the teacher is only one to give you a reference, a fact finder. And that particular crew will earn what they do. And those who did wrong in that particular crew will earn what they do. And that's the balancement of my acts. What was in your heart? What was your intentions? Are you still rebellious? Do you see the seeds growing? Do you see the seeds being watered? Do you see the seeds that flourish quick and they seem to know and to care, but their roots was not deep? Their roots didn't go all the way back. I'm just getting back to the roots of that which was substantial, that what was mega at the time, and that which will be watered, and there was only the seeds to grow. Because time is measured by what they call generations. So you count by how many generations. You count when is a generation to you. A generation to the Eloheem. Those who put forth motion in creation. Those who were never lost. Those who were always found adding on, building, and destroying that which was not needed. There's a filtering process of those who came from an animalistic way. It's called genetics today, eugenics yesterday, and the teachings of the minister Elijah Muhammad called it grafting, that he was taught by Wallace D. Farad, who came in the presence of that which was called Allah. And at the time, Allah was the best of names. So it brought fear. It brought happiness. It brought servitude, those who were called laborers. It brought discipline to those who were called officers or officials. It came titles. Title is a word, T-I-T-L-E, which represent the symbol L-I-T-L-E, which is elite. Look at the word title, write it down, and write down the word elite. So when one have a title, they have a status. They'll have a status, they have a state that's collectively called state us as elite. So the teachers were the leechers. Those who professed to know and did not know. Those who was in a university came from one thought, uno, uni, together as one verse over and over and over. When I just showed you at the unity of a diamond, which is compressed by the carbon, shines different directions. But they wanted to have one unit. So you have a doctrine, a programming. So those who were programming out of nothing was found. Beautiful thing. Something that cannot and will not be destroyed, but will elevate and grow as I cast and put the water, W-A-T-E-R, the W is 2 U's, making it the cipher. The cipher put after the number 9. The cipher put before the number 1. So it was 3 ciphers, which call the essence that they speak, and the esoteric as the gases. Then you have the liquids, and then you have the solids. And these 3 realms represented that which, as you look as you see the hologram, the reflection of the light, and interpret it as to be physical when you are not physical. So those who have connection to their oversoul, those who have decrystallized, those who have connection to the biblical term kota, those who have the river of knowledge, and they utilize it. Now we're going past that to knowing. Knowing is continual. To have the ability to be in the now, the unchanging now, to be, as they would say, as the gods. But when you use the word God, you only go to the G-O-D. You may go to the G-U-A-R-D. You may go to the G-D, the G-O-O-D, or the G-O-D. But those letters, those definitions will not take you to where you need to be. That's why it's a continuation, and those who held their fists tight and did not share and did not listen to the true words and the programming that was given to rid you from the slave mentality, to rid you from being unclean mentally, physically, to rid you from your bad habits. Those who stop the proper diet and become foolish, it's time to wake up. It's time to stop your foolishness. So this is what I came to do. I am Sheikh Eloheem, I-9 Gabriel the 19th. And those who claim peace, the collective force that was given the ability through mental telepathy to reach out, to be activated and rise above, to lead, and those who greedily led those into the slaughter, those who had true intentions but didn't have the solution, those who were one-sided, who called themselves black, which was the trick word for the word block, or to be lacking. It's still there today. It is defined in the law. It is defined in the dictionaries. But the trick is also you have the Black Law Dictionary. So it's a trick, a political word. All words, W-O-R-D, is M-O-R-D, or moves, is the frequency of words, of sounds that put you in there, under their spell. This is why they are told to spell this word or spell that word. In the formation of your schooling, the word school was taught to you that is shul, which means the underground or hell, or that which goes against. When you know the truth and you don't live the truth, you deviate from the truth, you become a hypocrite. In the biblical term, it's called manafikun. Now, those who know this, but did not know that it would be taught to those who did not know this, those who took advantage of those who were considered to be 85%, not knowing that in time the first will be last and the last will be first. And those who claim to be 5%, which is the power, claim to be this, must also do that which they claim to be and continue until they make change in who they are. If you look at 85, you'll see the 8. The 8 represents, after the 7 of completion, it represents infinity. Infinity of power. As you have the diamond, the power, the carbon, the 6, the Y, the joining. As I speak what I speak, say what I say, it's for those on many different frequencies. It is not for those. These are for the children of the Eloheem, so they will be the bright light, the beacons of light. But it's also to give respect to those who have earned their wings to fly with the angelic realm. Those who use their discipline and learn to master themselves. And with this mastery, they have become new creatures. In the word Christ, the word Christ is a Latin word, Christos, which means very special. So you are that special person. You are the center of the world. So don't let these instructions deter you from elevating and cultivating and eliminating that which is not necessary at this point in time. To take off that which is not good for you, and to elevate and continue to find yourself approved by that which is alike. Now, as I continue to teach, I will go over and review that which is, which was, and which shall be for you and for the children of the Eloheem. It will be a testimony for those who are still inclined to do good. Hate will never be a part of anybody on this planet. And the writings that was given to those who were put in authority over you at one time, you must go and you must look. Now, I want you to look at the emotional people. And why were they emotional? What was in their heart? What were their objectives? What were their why? How? Why were they like that? Why were they so hard on the people? If you go from New York to California, what is in the procedure? What gives you the ability to get there safely if you're flying? What system was placed so you will be able to fly on that plane? How many people did it take? What kind of people? Like I said, every generation had a filter, a filtering system, and they eliminated that which was not necessary at that time. There's been many wrongs on both sides, and I bear witness that there was a man who came with answers, W.D. Farad, and it was a man that utilized the teachings and learned for 3.5 years and put a system together through his thinking from that which was given to him, that he always said he got it from Allah, which was the best name known. that was given to the prophets and the prophetess. The mispronunciation, the different spelling leads to different symbolic representations, interpretations. And these interpretations led people to believe that they were in charge. It put them and what was living in them, gave them what they call rise, R-I-S, rise. And this word rise they use as sir. So every time you say, yes, sir, you're saying yes, which you agree that they're rising within and without. Those who want and have power. From the word poor, poorer. The more poor you are, the less you have, the more they have power. So they have assets. Because they tell you that you need to give to save your soul, to learn these esoterical teachings, to learn this history of your greatness, that you must be a laborer, but to share the booty, which is the money that is taken from those who lose in war. War is W-A-R, which is the proper pronunciation is because the double of the U, the sound is and A-R is is error. Is also R. R is fire. Fire is the destructive part that they use not to build themselves, not to build for you. So these things that the Eloheem say today, it may go unnoticed for many, many years, but I will continue. This is a marathon. This is an Eloheem marathon. It will only take a couple of days to teach that which is needed to be said by those who needed to hear it. And those who needed to hear it will be activated. You are now healed by the Eloheem, King Eloheem. You are now healed. Wake up, wake up, wake up, rise up.